Hello, I'm Dalton from Deep Wells Media, a production company that's helping you inspire your audience and engage their emotions through the use of video. And today we're talking about one reason why your audience isn't engaging with your videos. We're talking about story. So first of all, why do you need story in your videos? Story is something that really engages with people's emotions because our minds have just been shaped to think in that frame for just thousands of years. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about this. Other people have already treated this idea a lot more than I have. If you want further reading, Donald Miller's book, Building a Story Brand, is a good resource. Okay, but how do you use story in your videos? Do you remember Freytag's pyramid from high school English class? It's back. So in its most basic forms, a story has a character who has a problem, and then they go on a journey, which is usually the rising action of the plot, important element. So they go on the journey to a climax where they either solve their problem or don't solve their problem. And then we resolve and see the consequences of those actions in either the happy ending, the happily ever after, or the tragic ending. Now, obviously your story structure can get a lot more complicated than this, but most of your videos will benefit from some type of story structure. Your audience is going to be a lot more engaged with your videos when all of those story elements are clear and in place. Now, one tip regarding the story structure, I think in some cases it can be faked. And so here's what I mean. Maybe you have a lot of interviews or just one interview that doesn't have like a clear story perhaps. Maybe it's just lots of like good kind of sound bites. But you can use the energy of your video to mimic a story arc. And so that would be things like using music that rises and falls, or incorporating more emotion in people's voices. That's how you cut up your edit. Another thing you can use is the pacing of your edit. So how fast are your cuts flying by? So the faster that you are showing different shots, the more energy that your video is going to have. And so you can use all of those things to mimic the rising action of the plot, the climax, that's the high energy part, and then just the falling action at the end. Now, there are some exceptions to this general story structure, and that's going to depend on the context of your video. Here's what I mean. When you go to the movies, you're locked in for 2 hours. They have a few minutes in the movie to set the scene, introduce characters, introduce the setting, and all of that kind of thing. That's because there's a captive audience there. But if you're making a video for social media, you don't have a captive audience. You probably have the least captive audience that there possibly can be, because it's really not hard to just swipe up with your thumb and be done with a video. And so with those kind of videos, you have to kind of tweak the story structure a little bit. You're going to want to bring in what's called a hook to get people to stop scrolling. So that's going to be something that has high energy, or something inquisitive that makes people just stop, ask a question, or be curious in just that first couple seconds and makes them stop the scroll. So you might need to sacrifice your rising action a little bit in order to put in a hook that will get somebody to stop scrolling. Then you can move on and get on with your story structure depending on the length of the video. All right, if you found any of these tips helpful, we would really appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe to our channel, because it really does help us out. And if you're a nonprofit, a church, or a ministry, and you want to learn even more about creating engaging videos, you should really sign up for our fundraising video mini course. And we'll teach you how to create a fundraising video that engages your audience from start to finish. But that pretty much does it for today, so we will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.